SmackDown is over. The Cody Rhodes era begins. And is there a new tribal chief? We discuss that now. All right. SmackDown has ended. The Cody Rhodes era has begun. SmackDown begins the same way Raw did. Cody Rhodes comes out, although this time, no Rock. Nobody comes out to confront him on SmackDown, but he does announce two triple threat matches, which were, I thought, pretty decent matches setting up. And in the end, it comes out to LA Knight taking on AJ Styles. The winner of that will go on to take on Cody Rhodes at Backlash in France. So my pick already is going to be AJ Styles. LA Knight got the victory at WrestleMania. AJ Styles gets the victory next week, and I believe it's going to be Cody Rhodes against AJ Styles. I hope I'm wrong, but I believe that's kind of the way it's going. That'll give Cody an easier, I feel, road beating AJ over beating LA Knight. Personal opinion, but we'll see what happens there. Braun Breaker continues his momentum. He did what he's supposed to do with Cameron Grimes. He beats him 1, 2, 3, makes a thing. Also, they brought out Jade Cargill in a tag team match with Chelsea Green and Chelsea Green and Piper taking on Jade and Bianca. And of course, they kept Jade strong. I believe this is what you're going to see for a little bit right now. It'll be Jade and Bianca. And ultimately, I think you'll see this for a while. And I think ultimately it will lead to what you will see at WrestleMania, which I believe might be Bianca versus Jade. So we'll see how that goes. That, again, SmackDown tonight, very good, very solid for what it was. It's the SmackDown after WrestleMania. It's getting new things started. And you know, Cody kind of touched base a little bit on The Rock, gave me something that I'd given him. You know, so again, they're keeping that going there, and then they always keep it open, of course, for The Rock and Cody. It's gonna be interesting to see now the build for me with Cody as the champion. I know him chasing the title was always going to be good TV. I know he can cut the promo, so I know this Raw, this SmackDown, the ones right after WrestleMania would be good. I want to see how it goes now once he gets challenges and how he goes from there, because that was my only question with him finally finishing the story of chasing the title was, what's next? How do you keep the audience, you know, on Cody's side? Because now he's no longer hunting. He's the hunted, you know, so it's going to be very interesting. He did discuss a little bit of that in the promo. So we'll see where they go with that on SmackDown and maybe even Raw a little bit too, because he keeps saying he's the undisputed WWE champion. They have removed the Universal from it. And I don't know if that's a mistake, a slip up, or if that's just kind of the way they're going with this. So we'll see where they go with that. I thought, you know, the biggest thing to come out of this SmackDown was the Bloodline story, right? It's Paul Heyman, it's Jimmy Uso, it's Solo showing up, going to the locker room they've gone to many a times. They get there, they look at the door, and it no longer says, you know, Roman Reigns Bloodline. It now says the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. And Paul Heyman goes in the thing and he says, you know, it's about winning and losing. And when you lose, there's repercussions. And this is one of the repercussions. And, you know, he goes on and on. And he says, by order of the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And Kevin Owens walks by and he's like, hey, there's a broom closet over there. So he says, I'll take care of him later. And I'm going to take care of this. They come out for the promo. It's Jimmy, it's Solo, it's Paul. Paul Heyman's doing his thing. He goes to talk about, you know, the rise back up of the tribal chief rope, and he's cut off by Solo. And Solo looks at him and he says, losing and winning, that's what matters, right? Repercussions, right? Well, repercussions come changes. And he slides Paul Heyman out of the way. and he looks over at Jimmy. And Jimmy's taken back, and he's like, really, me? You're going to go at me? You're going to go at me like this? And he gives him the hug, and he says, you're my brother. I love you. Let's go the hug. Kind of turns his back all the way to him. He's attacked by somebody wearing a hoodie. The hoodie's taken off, and it's Tama Tonga, son of Haku, beating down Jimmy Uso. Then he holds him up. Solo gives him the spike. You see Paul Heyman there. He's like, grabs the phone. You know, like he always does. Call Roman. Solo grabs the phone, throws it down the ring, stomps all over it. Very interesting turn here for me. Because now, and then also they put a chair on Jimmy. And he goes to hit him. And if you hear Paul Heyman in the corner, he says, this is not what the tribal chief wanted. This is not what the tribal chief wanted. And Solo just runs right into the chair, takes out Jimmy. And at the end, it's Solo, it's Tama, it's Paul Heyman reluctantly holding it up for the tribal chief, acknowledging, shall we say. And now it's very interesting because they kind of left it open afterwards. Jimmy is being checked on by the trainer. Paul Heyman comes out and they ask him and he says, it's not good. And then Tama Tonga comes into his ear and he's like, by order of the tribal chief. Solo comes in, shows him his thumb, does the things like this, gives him a little smirk. And Paul Heyman's like, what the hell is going on here? So again, they've thrown a little bit of a swerve. Is Roman calling the shots? Or has Solo Sikoa taken over as a tribal chief? Because remember, winning and losing has its repercussions. So I am very interested in this. And again, I understand Cody Rhodes, the story, his story, a new story, but the Bloodline story to me now, where are they going? Is Roman calling the shot still? Has Solo gone rogue and brought in help to help him out? Where does Jimmy Uso go from here? Does Roman blame Jimmy for the loss? If he does, why doesn't he blame Solo? We all saw the match. Cena took out Solo. Jay took out Jimmy. Undertaker took out Rock. Roman had a chance to take out Cody. He didn't. He decided to get his revenge on Seth. And ultimately, it cost him the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania. And now we are in the Cody Rhodes era. But damn it, if they still don't have this bloodline thing rolling, you don't know where it's going. Remember, Roman's whole thing was, I wanted to raise up everybody in my family. Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo. Now they got Tama Tonga coming in. Jacob Fatu's been signed. The bloodline angle is still rolling, and it's rolling now without the title in the picture. A lot of different things they can do now. As I said, is Roman, I know Roman considers himself the tribal chief, but is Solo gone rogue? Is Solo trying to become the tribal chief? Is he laying stake and staking claim to being the tribal chief? Did Roman call an audible that Paul Heyman was unaware of? And then that creates a whole nother avenue of things because it's Roman, you know, is it Paul Heyman? Paul Heyman the next one out, because if you watch the reaction from Paul Heyman, he looks like he feels his days are numbered here in the bloodline, especially with Solo calling the shots. But overall, this SmackDown was good for what they needed to do. They found out now you've got LA Knight and AJ Styles heading to next week to find out who will face Cody Rhodes at the PLE in France. And then also Naomi beat Tiffany. So Naomi now will take on Bayley, I believe. That's going to be Bayley's opponent at the pay-per-view. So again, some matches are being made and things are happening, doing good coming out of WrestleMania. You stayed hot. The Detroit crowd was hot, and you gave them something with the Bloodline that I believe is going to be talked about for a little while, because now the whole question turns to what's next for Roman. We know the final boss is out in Hollywood doing movies. What's next for Roman? What's next for Solo? What happens with Jimmy? Tama Tonga has debuted. Where's Jacob Fatu? Even though this is the Cody Rhodes era, Cody finished one story. His next story needs to begin. But the Bloodline story keeps rolling. Don't forget, check down there. If you'd like to support the show, hit me up, Cash App, Venmo, Super Chat. Everything is appreciated. Please, if you like the video, hit the subscribe, hit the like. That is the most important thing. Help me get the Squared Circle Digest channel out. And again, I ask you as we leave here, the Bloodline angle, it keeps rolling.